Hello and welcome to Barbara's podcast. This is the show for women, all about health, nutrition, and wellness. It's the show that will empower you and inspire you to create a healthier lifestyle.
Hello and welcome. I'm Barbara Carafocus, and I'm excited to introduce Olivier Mankondo, who is a weight loss and wellness coach. Welcome, Olivier.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Okay, my pleasure. I can't wait to get started. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from?
Yes, basically, I'm currently in the UK.
Yes.
And as you say, my name is Olivier Mankondo. I'm a speaker, author, weight loss and wellness coach. And in 2016, I changed my lifestyle and was able to go through some very profound changes that completely changed my health and my life. And
Okay.
that's why I decided to start sharing what I've learned through my talks, my book, and my coaching program, so that people can live their lives without being sick. Because I really think that our default is not to be sick, but we've been told that when we grow up, we age, we need to be sick. But I don't think that it's true. That's what I do in a nutshell.
I don't believe that either, that it's our
Yeah.
default to be sick.
Yeah.
So, well, what made you decide to lose weight, to change direction? Was there a trigger or something that got you started?
Not really, but just prior for me to lose weight, I was not in a good shape. I had lots of chronic diseases. First of all, I was overweight. My weight was 100 kilos, and I was suffering from high blood pressure. I had massive headaches every day or every other day. And in fact, I had to have some painkillers in my wallet all the time because the headache was so bad. I had dandruff, chest pain, back pain, abscesses, joint pain. And I remember that I had too much dental problems as well, because with my bad eating habits, every 2 to 3 months I had to see the dentist. So for me, like I said, I thought it was normal.
Yeah.
Because at that time I was 46. I thought it was normal for me to be sick because I was getting old, obviously. And then one day I was just watching a YouTube program. And then on that YouTube program, there's an Indian Yogi who was saying that if you stop eating animal products, it was possible to be able to eradicate 70% of the chronic diseases. And because I was already in bad shape, I said to myself, okay, I'll try it. I didn't know that I was going to lose weight or anything like that. I just tried. And it was a certain Wednesday when I saw the program. And then I said to my wife that I was going to stop eating meat and all this thing. And then on Thursday, I went to work. I came back from work and I asked her to cook my last meal of meal. And on Friday, I started. I went cold turkey. And it's been 7 years that I've stopped eating all meat product, dairy product, processed food, and all that. And what I noticed that it's the week after that, I lost 5 kilos. And but on that week, I really felt very bad. And I was going through a detox symptoms. So I had more cold sore, more abscesses. I had massive headaches, even more than before. And that's why a lot of people, when they do the change, they think that when they have all these detox symptoms, then think that, oh, it's not working. But that's how the physical body detoxifies itself. So I went through that. And then after a week, I felt very good. I had lots of energy. And 4 months through the change, I went to see my doctor because he told me that because I had the blood pressure, high blood pressure. And he told me that I'll be on medication for the rest of my life. So 4 months after I went to see him and the blood pressure was gone, everything was completely gone. And after 9 months, I was able to lose 35 kilos. So I went from 100 kilos to 65 kilos. And like I've just said, all my chronic diseases went away. And for the past 7 years, I've not been sick a single day. So that's my what got me going.
That's impressive. That's very impressive that you actually went cold turkey.
Yeah.
Did you feel that you had to make any sacrifices or did you change your mindset if you had to describe the beginning of your journey? Because a lot of people who want to lose weight say, oh, I'm sacrificing this and I have to let go of that. How did you manage that?
Yeah, the real problem is the mindset. The mindset is, for me, is the key element, because even if you change the food that you're eating, but if in your head you're not completely sure what you're doing, it's not going to work. So when I changed, I said to myself, okay, I'm going to change. I didn't ask myself, what am I going to eat? What am I going to replace that with? And all that. But because I was sure that by going through that process, everything will be changed. I don't know why I trust that guy, but that was my mindset. And I don't think that I sacrifice anything, because for me, mostly people will not share the same view with me. But for me, I think that the animal product are not designed for the human mechanism. We are frugivores at core, just like the gorilla, with whom we share 99% of the same DNA. And when you look at gorillas, they eat fruit, vegetables, and tender roots. They do not eat meat. So we've got practically the same digestive system, but for us, we are okay to eat meat. And because of all that, I didn't think that I was sacrificing anything, because we are not designed to eat all the food that I've put aside. So for me, it was good. And especially as I saw all the transformation, I said, oh, this is the way to go.
You're on the right track. I suppose you can change. You can say, well, what am I gaining or what am I going to gain? You can change that's the way the mindset should be. Instead of what am I losing, what am I gaining?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Fish or something else, or you're happy the way it's. So basically, there's no dairy, no eggs, no fish.
No fish at all. Because what with all the research that I've done is that, for example, if you look, you compare the herbivores and the carnivores, and you look at us human beings, there's practically nothing that we are like carnivores. So when you look, you will see that we've got very long digestive tract, and carnivores is very short. And why is that? It's because the meat passed through the system very slowly.
Yes.
And that's why carnivores have got very short intestine. And when we eat meat, it takes 3 days to pass through our system. So it's the same with fish. It takes 3 days. And because it takes 3 days, it starts rotting. And why is that? It's because when you look at, you take, for example, a piece of fish, you leave that outside during the summer. After 3 days, it's going to be in a rotting state. And when you look at internal temperature, is 36 degrees. So it's hot, just like a summer day or even more. So when we eat meat and it takes, or fish, and it takes 3 days in our system, it will start rotting.
Yeah.
And it creates constipation. And because of that, it got reabsorbed into our digestive, into our bloodstream. And that's why we start having diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer, Parkinson, arthritis, and all the autoimmune diseases. So that's why I've put aside even the fish, because we've been told that fish is good. And what people need to understand as well is that fish has got mercury. And mercury is very, very bad, and it affects the nervous system. So, yeah.
Okay. One question I wanted to just ask you, were you, going on this journey, because a lot of people who lose weight put the weight back on, they go back to old habits. And have you got any tips for our listeners on how to stick to the healthy habits and not go back to old, unhealthier habits?
Yeah. So first of all, the first thing is the mindset. Like I've just said, the mindset is the key. So when you start this process, you need to ask yourself why you want to lose weight. Your why need to be very strong, because it's not always easy. So especially for when you go, you stop all the dairy product, the meat and all that, because when you get invited to people's houses, that's what they will offer you. So you need to know exactly why you're doing it. So your mindset need to be very clear. You need to know clearly why you're making that change. So this is the first thing. And then when you start eating the plant-based nutrition, basically what will happen is that this food have got lots of fiber. Yes. And with all this fiber, it's going to make you full quickly, and you're going to eat less. And when you do that, it's going to be difficult for you to put back on the weight. But the tip that I can give people is, for example, to eat, like I've just said, to eat plenty of fruit and vegetables. So that it's going to make them full, and they're not going to eat a lot of frequently.
Yes.
They need to do as well intermittent fasting, because in the society, we've been told that we need to eat all the time. But what people need to understand is that 80% of our energy are spent to digest food. And the healing and cleansing process can only be done when we're not digesting food. So when we're constantly eating, it's difficult for the healing process to be done. And that's why people will keep, the weight will come back on. But when you can start with the intermittent fasting, for example, all the time when you're not eating, you will see that the cleansing will be done very properly. It's like me, for example, I only eat twice a day. I eat at 12 p.m. and at 7 p.m. And in between, I don't eat nothing. So, for example, for 7 p.m. till 12 p.m. the next day, it's 16 hours where I don't eat. And I give my body all the time to cleanse and heal. So that's another tip that people can do. And they need to get more active as well. Because when you do, for example, walking, biking, and stuff like that, it will enable your body to be able to get rid of toxins and to be able to absorb all the good nutrients, and to drink plenty of water and stuff like that. So when they do all these things, I think it's going to be good for them, and they will be able to lose the weight and keep that off.
Yeah. Do you add in any herbs or supplements to your health regime?
No, I don't use any supplement, because I don't really, this is my personal belief. I don't believe that supplement are any good, because I've got, I think that what the body recognizes is natural stuff. For example, if you eat a piece of fruit or you eat a piece of vegetables, the body will be able to recognize that. But if you take a supplement which has been done in a laboratory and stuff like that, it's something which is not natural. And for my understanding is that the body will not recognize that. And that's why, for example, for the past 8 years, I've not taken a single pill. So I don't take any medication as well. I'm basically against that, because I think that any medication that we take is a kind of poison, because even if when you look at the side effect, you will see that every single medication have got a side effect. And for example, if you take some paracetamol, you take maybe 10 of them, you're going to die. And why you will die? It's because it's a poison.
It's a poison.
And I don't understand how a poison can make you good. So that's why medication and supplement, I don't take that. If I think that by eating fruit, vegetables, legumes, grain, nuts, and seed, you'll be able to take all the minerals, all the nutrients that your body requires.
I find that I add, one of my mottos is, when I'm cooking something or creating something, if it's a smoothie or a food, a dish, I always say, how can I make this more nutritious? And for example, I'll add herbs and spices. So I might add turmeric or cinnamon or rosemary. If it's a smoothie, I might add some chia seeds or spirulina or chlorella or bee pollen, things like that. Do you use any of those, or you don't, or you're,
Yeah, for those things, they are natural. So yes, I use chia seed, pumpkin seed, all these things. Yes, that's a very good. All these herbs that you said, turmeric. Yeah. Yes, that's perfectly fine. I haven't got a problem with that, because it's natural. Yeah. So in most of my salad, I'll put some pumpkin seed, I will put some chia seed, I'll put something like that. So yes, definitely, this is good. I use that all the time. Yeah.
So I find when you add these foods, it makes your food, what you eat more nutritious, and you also, it's they're highly anti-inflammatory or antioxidants. You can, it really boosts what you eat.
Yeah.
Are there any other healthy lifestyle tips that you could give us that you took, for example, that you did to help you detox? Could it be sauna? Okay, there was the exercise, the eating, meditation maybe, or something else, some other lifestyle tips that you could give us?
Yes, definitely. One of the first thing is meditation. So I always start my day by meditating, because meditation gives you a very good start for the day. So when I will wake up, I'll start with my meditation. I'll meditate for an hour. So I've got different types of meditation, guided meditation and stuff like that. So I'll do that for an hour. And then I'll do some stretching exercises. I will stretch for 5-10 minutes, and then I've got a small trampoline. I'll jump on it, a rebounder. I'll do that for 5-10 minutes as well. And then basically that's all the exercise that I do, because I don't think that people need to, personally, I don't think that people need to exercise as hard as they do at the gym, because I think this is counterproductive. And what I do as well is that every day, I've got a treadmill. I will just walk for 15 minutes on the treadmill, or maybe I will do 3 times a week. I'll run for 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes on the treadmill, and on every Sunday I will go for a walk, 2-hour walk. So that's all the exercise that I do, and I will really encourage people to get active, because it's very, very important. And a lot of people like to be lazy, they don't want to move, and even if they have to go to the supermarket, or instead of going, they will have the food delivered at home. So it's something that they need to do.
Yes, I think a lot of people don't move around, and especially with the pandemic, where everything became online and you could order everything, supermarket shopping, I think it's made things worse when it comes to moving. So with regards to weight loss, my last question on the weight loss, did you, when you switched to a plant-based diet, did you consciously have to reduce your food? Did you consciously say, I'm going to eat less? Or you didn't? You just said, I'm switching to a plant-based diet, and you ate as much as you felt was right for you?
Yeah. So what people need to understand is that when you eat a plant-based nutrition, where you eat, like I said, fruit, vegetables, legumes, grain, nuts, and seeds, this food have got lots of fiber, and the water content is very high. So when you eat them, it's going to make you full very quickly. So what I tend to tell people is not to count calories, not to look at the portion size. What I do myself is that I eat until I feel full, and then I stop. That's all I do. I never tell to people that you need to look at the portion or to count calories. No, you just eat. That's what every animal they do. They eat. When they feel full, they stop. And that's what we have to do. And because we are eating, if you eat a plant-based nutrition, I think it's become very difficult to become overweight or things like that. For example, if you look at the gorillas, they eat until they feel satisfied. And you will never see in nature one gorilla, maybe 2, they've got, they are about the same age, and one is the double the size of the other. You never see things like that.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, never. Or you see an elephant which is double the size of the other one. Never. No. Because when you eat what the nature has the food biologically designed for the human mechanism, it's become impossible to gain weight. It's like me. I went from 100 kilos to 65 kilos, and I've not gained back on the weight since for the past 7 years. So yes, that's what
That's a very, very,
people need
very
to do.
good point that you've made. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So Olivia, in closing, is there something on the last note that you would like to share with our audience?
Yes. So what I would like to say to people is that our default is not to be sick. We are, the way we have been created is that we need to be in good health all the time. And what I would like to tell people mostly is that a lot of people, when I approach them, most of them, not most of them, but some of them will say, "Oh, I'm too old. I'm too old. It's too late. I can't change anymore." But what I really, really try to tell people is that the age should not be a factor, because I started my transformation when I was 46. Today I'm 53, and my health is getting better and better. So people don't have to tell themselves that they are too old. Even if you are in 70s, 80s, you can still try to change, and it's going to make you feel a lot better. And so people need to understand that when we are born on this earth, the most important thing that we have, it's our body, it's our temple, and we've only got one. So we need to make sure that we're in good health so that we can have a longer and fruitful life. That's what I can say to your listeners.
Well, Olivia, you truly are an inspiration. I think you look great for your age. I think it's wonderful what you've achieved with your health, having bad health and going to excellent health. So, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a guest on my podcast. It was a pleasure.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to Barbara's podcast. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter or e-courses. Celebrate life, and see you at the next episode.